With its heaviest July rainfall in 3/4 of a century, it is wet in this town and steaming.
Ugh, somebody's boxers are sticking. You want to drive your enemies nuts? Have a lot more fun than they are.
Remember I said when I'd be a little bit wild and would have a lot of fun, they'd say, he's not acting presidential. And I'd say, well, it's a lot easier to act presidential than to do what I do. Anybody can act presidential. Ladies and gentlemen of the state of Florida, thank you very much for being here. You are tremendous people. And I will leave now because I am boring you to death. Thank you. I can be more presidential than any president in history, except for possibly Abe Lincoln with a big hat. I don't know if I can.
Abe Lincoln with the big hat. Could you imagine Abe and Trump in a debate? Check out Mr. Big Hat over here. Mr. Big Hat. What's he hiding under there, Mr. Big Hat? Another smaller hat? All right, so what's all this fun causing? The people not having fun are getting sick of you, of Trump, of themselves. For example, since Trump got elected, there's been a jump in patients suffering from what scientists call Trump anxiety disorder, or TAD. TAD. Isn't everything bad named Tad? I mean, do you know a good Tad? By the way, that was a tadpole. Went a long way for that joke. Went a long way. Wasted a lot of time for that one. All right. According to CBC News, a symptom of TAD is a feeling as if the world is ending. Wonder who's spreading that.
Donald Trump and his erratic behavior could be leading the United States towards World War III.
We're talking about annihilating millions of people. Yeah.
If this border wall happens, it will be an unprecedented environmental catastrophe.
We can't begin to normalize this. This is dangerous. This is childish. This is unpresidential.
This is it, the end of the presidential race, and it feels like the end of the world.
Of course. Now, it's easy to mock the suffering, but I'm not. When you see what's coming out of the quivering Cronkites, you can't blame gentler souls for falling ill. There's a whole industry selling us fear, and they're calling it facts. That's another symptom, that the fear spreads faster than a cold sore from Bill Clinton. Fear sells. What? Fear sells. Fear sells. So now the media has replaced climate change with Trump change as their apocalyptic wish fulfillment. Everything bad in this world is Trump's fault. Pick any bad news and you can trace it back to him. Even stuff that happened before he was born. World War I, Trump's fault. World War II, Trump's fault. The problem, things just keep getting better. We're doing pretty good with North Korea and the Middle East. GDP's going up and unemployment keeps dropping. Consumer confidence is higher than Obama's mom jeans. We have peace and prosperity, yet the other networks see doomsday. Every day is doomsday. And there's the problem. If every day is doomsday, how do you know what the real doomsday is? What we need is a super duper doomsday.
What if everything you knew about doomsday was wrong? Get ready for super duper doomsday. Where it's really the end of the world for sure, no lie. It's going to happen, we swear, so buckle up, you're going to die, and so is everyone else. It all starts when President Trump severely slices a tee shot while golfing at Mar-a-Lago. The ball careens off into space, striking a nearby asteroid, which then crashes into the moon, splitting it into thousands of pieces. Moon fragments smash Earth's TV satellites, causing them to only broadcast The View 24 hours a day. This causes the world's IQ to plummet dramatically. Except for Chris Cuomo, he actually becomes smarter.
I missed you, my friends. What do you say? Let's get after it.
Human idiots begin chasing each other in stores with alligators, causing Dana Perino to swear like a sailor. Turtles quickly become the dominant species and start eating everything, causing them to grow at an exponential rate. The UN responds by making another movie about ABBA that sucks so bad it causes the sun to hurl itself into Jupiter, causing all of our blenders to make nothing but the worst kind of virgin daiquiris. Meanwhile, the giant turtles have begun to devour entire cities, causing Don Lemon to speak in reverse English.
Don't believe what you see with your own ears.
Within hours, only a few hundred humans remain as the final survivors mount a last stand by electing Adam Levine as their leader. He tries to make peace by singing. Upon hearing this, the Earth itself implodes, destroying everything ever created, except a doomsday bunker full of my pillows, thus completing Super Duper Doomsday.
And it was all Trump's fault.
That's the best. The best ever. That was the best. All right. So the ugly truth, as the media, Hollywood, and academia deplore Trump, they wouldn't exist without him. Seriously, if Trump were to disappear, what would they be doing? All right. So if you think these people are sick from Trump anxiety, just imagine their Trump withdrawal. Talk about a doomsday. Fact is, you can't go back after Donald. He's introduced something into politics that we haven't seen in quite a while. It's energy. Media anxiety isn't from the apocalypse. It's from trying to keep up. It's the first time in 8 years they've had to. They see these weird, damp circles underneath their arms, and they go, "What the hell is that, doctor?" It's sweat. Something you didn't see when you were reporting about Obama. So what about us? Things are going pretty good, which means it's time for
Tough Love with Greg Gutfeld.
Welcome to Tough Love with Greg Gutfeld. Look, I'm not crazy about CNN or Jim Acosta. He's like a tube of Brill cream that learned to pout. But the jeering at the rallies, it's really not a good look. And I mean it. It's like when I drink too much, I think that I look great, but in reality, I shouldn't be in the park wearing nothing but Crocs. They never believe me when I say I'm walking a dog. So, when I see all the yelling at Acosta, I do get the anger. The jeering's born from a cynicism about a press that, under Obama, had their spines removed to make it easier to bend over. And now, it's clean. It's clean. Now that Trump's here, you see the media working overtime, and it's the contrast that bugs you and me. But when you're winning, and you are, you don't need to scream. In fact, I think that's piling on. So my suggestion, stop. And instead, do what my mom always said. Kill him with kindness. Or was it a machete? I could never tell with Mom. It was either kindness or a machete with her. There was no middle ground, but let's stick with kindness. You got to be appreciative and take the high road and be nicer. You'll look better, and it will drive the media even more nuts, and they'll be so confused, they'll probably think it's the end of the world again. Yes! Another great monologue. Let's welcome tonight's guest. That's not a truck backing up. We're just bleeping her filthy language. My co-host on the 5 and anchor of the Daily Briefing, or bleeping, Dana Perino. Besides the TV dinner, she's my favorite Swanson. The original vampire slayer, the legendary Buffy herself, actress Christy Swanson. All right. One of the best intros ever. Her keyboard only has one letter, which is why she's always depressing. National Review reporter Kat Timpf. That's too good. And his baseball cap gets altitude sickness. Former WWE superstar, my massive sidekick, Tyrus.
Why are you
All right. Dana, I can't believe I have to say this, but try to keep it clean.
Yes, thank you.
We have some children here in the audience.
I see him. Yeah, he was here for your monologue.
I know. What do you make of, I guess, the idea that this conflict between the media and the administration, and who should take the high road? Should we take the high road? You know, I remember what Jedediah said on the 5, which kind of struck me. We have, like, when I lecture people, we have the luxury of a show, so we can talk about all the stuff that the audience...
The media driving us crazy, like we have an outlet for it.
But the people at the rallies don't. So when they see CNN, they go, you, because that's their outlet. So am I wrong?
No, I don't think that that's wrong, but I think that your advice is actually good. The tough love, right? Because I do think, not to get technical on the polls, but you know, he's bleeding women. The approval ratings are plummeting for him with women. Yeah. And it's not about the economy. They know the economy's good. It's not about Russia. They don't really care about Russia. It's his temperament. And so I think that it's just not helping. It's not necessary. I think that the reporters, they don't even actually need to be in the room. Yeah. They could be outside. Yes. And you're just going to see it on, you have one TV camera, one camera. Like, Jim Acosta doesn't need to be in the room.
But if they're outside.
He's becoming part of the story. Yeah. And it's not necessary.
But if they're outside, the story will be reporters kept outside. Trump's fault. Christy, welcome to the show. So much good news in the economy. Is that what's driving the media kind of nuts, is that they can't figure out what to say about him?
They just want to put him down at any chance that they have. I mean, they just want to just destroy him, like your video that we just saw. And it's terrible. It's bad. And they need to stop. They're aging themselves.
Are they aging themselves?
Yeah.
They look like they're getting gray or white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they just look so angry and awful, and you know, they need to lighten up.
Yeah.
Lightness changes everything.
Yeah, I've noticed Anderson Cooper's hair is totally white. And Stelter, bald. Yeah. I mean, they're obviously having an effect. Kat, give me some of your deep analysis on what's going on, the current political climate, how you feel. Are you angry? Are you nervous, perturbed?
I'm angry and nervous and perturbed. But it's usually about other stuff, like what about when I get food later? What if I order the wrong thing and I don't like it and I wish I got another thing? Right. Or what if when I'm walking down the street someone sneezes on me and then I get a cold again? Or what if I hang out with someone who seems to be healthy but they're actually harboring the cold virus and I wound up getting sick from them because they're still contagious?
I'm seeing a trend here.
There's a lot of things definitely to worry about. I don't worry so much. I mean, the amount of anxiety that some people have about President Trump, only one person should have that kind of anxiety about the president, and that's the president. Yeah. You know, like he can be a little... He could be a little nervous about making important decisions, but I think actually I get a little more nervous about my food order than he does. He seems like he kind of just is pretty chill about being the president.
No, I think, you know what? I've had talked about this before. To him, it's just another kind of a big project. And he talks about it like it's a job. He will share the details of this job to you that no president ever would, like all the stuff he has to deal with, Tyrus. But I'm glad you made it. You almost didn't make it tonight.
Yeah, I made it.
Yeah. Stuck on a plane. He was circling. He was circling for 4 hours above this studio.
Yep. Yep. It was great. If I could piggyback on Dana Perino for a second, shut up.
I think that would be called. I think that would.
She's got a great core base. She could do it. Maybe not for a long time. At least 3 steps. 3 steps before we go down. But her point is spot on. The Acosta thing. Because of my background in wrestling, and President Trump has a long historic history with wrestling, and this is Vince McMahon 101. Right. And Acosta likes the chanting. He likes that stuff because you're exactly right. Why is he not on the outside? Reporters used to do that, but you can't get those reactions and those ratings. He even, so they can see him, stands up higher than the crowd and stands over them.
That's true.
Hey, I'm here. I'm here. And then they get going. They start doing the wrestling chants, "You suck," or whatever it is. And he eats it up and he acts sad and distraught. But he literally, if he got down and walked away to do his report, it would be over. Yeah. But he's doing it for the attention, for the same reason that he despises President Trump, who seeks attention. They do the same thing. It's because they are involved in a war between the media and specifically, it seems like CNN has become the front runner in this one-on-one dogfight with the president, and they're willing to go anywhere to go after him, and then but they want to hold themselves in a higher court. But they're the same thing. And Trump, he's the baby face right now. So the crowd's going to cheer him. They're going to boo you. So just be the bad guys. You know?
And it is a mismatch because he's a street fighter. This is who he is.
They can't win this fight. They don't even know how to be a good heel. Like Acosta would have been like, "Hey, shut up, lady," or "How'd you get here? You couldn't afford it." Like, start heckling the crowd back, Acosta. Like,
that's a great idea.
Be a bad guy. Like,
great idea. They should really do that.
They should heckle it. Like, I'm doing a report on you, sir, and your extramaritals. You know, like you just like be a bad guy.
Also, they have no sense of humor. Like you were saying earlier, you can't if you can't beat them, join them. Right, and like laugh.
Just laugh.
It would be better.
I just hope that. I hope that like. I just would like it to just people looking like a mob doesn't appeal to me, whether in any shape, form, because I'm really a good person at heart. No, I'm not. I'm a terrible person. Thank you. Coming up, Hillary Clinton teams up with Steven Spielberg. Is she the next Indiana Jones, or more like Wisconsin failure? Am I right? Unemployment is so low, even Hillary's found a new job. Good for her. The petulant pantsuit is teaming up with Steven Spielberg, whoever that is, to produce a documentary on the women's suffrage movement. The struggle women endured to earn the right to vote, so that 100 years later, they could elect Donald Trump. Oops. Sorry, I gave away the ending. I gave away the ending on that one. All right. So Hillary's producing television now, which is a powerful gig. TV is a very persuasive medium. I think this is great. The more stuff she produces, the more fun I can have with her. I wonder what her next project's going to be.
Coming this fall, Hillary Clinton presents I Hate Everyone on This Planet, especially Greg Gutfeld, a 35-part series.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Kat, what do you make of this? Does it upset you? It should.
Yeah, I just don't know how you get a gig like that being Hillary Clinton, because she doesn't really strike me as being a very creative person.
No.
Like, I don't think she's ever finger painted.
No.
Like, even as a child, she was probably like, no, I'm not doing that.
No.
She was able to hire another kid to do the finger painting for her. That's just how I see it.
Yes.
I mean, she had to hire basically a team of writers for her Twitter to try to make jokes on Twitter. So if you can't even do your own tweets, how are you going to make a movie? I think that she's really good at one thing, which is just like sitting there and looking terrifying.
Christy, obviously, Hollywood, you a lot of movies. Does she deserve this opportunity? What do you make of this?
No. I mean, come on. A producer?
Yeah.
Like an executive producer?
You don't need a lot for that, do you?
You do. I mean, no. She's going to sit like in a director's chair or hang out at craft service eating donuts and collect a check.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it is.
And Bill's thinking, I'll do the casting couch.
Yeah.
By the way, Dana, serious point. Shouldn't they be her first, if she's a real feminist, do a documentary on Harvey Weinstein? Because that would be a truly feminist work, but she can't because she overlooked his behavior because he was giving so much money to the party and to her in order to get elected. So probably the worst example of a feminist is her, maybe.
Well, you said it very well.
Thank you.
Really. But, you know, I do wonder if they will start off with, you know, the women who really started off the movement to get the right to vote were from Wyoming, which is where I'm from. Typically conservative women there, but I don't know if they'll get a lot of credit. I also think she's not going to have to do anything. Just like I don't think that Barack Obama and Michelle Obama are going to have to do anything for the millions they're getting from Netflix. This is just a name added to it. When James Patterson wrote his latest book, he added Bill Clinton to it, right?
Right.
It was a collaboration.
Yeah.
James Patterson didn't need Bill Clinton to help him sell books.
Yeah.
Spielberg doesn't need help from Hillary Clinton to help them sell movies. This is basically, it's like
A vehicle.
If you fail, then you get picked up by Hollywood if you're a liberal. And I'm not bitter about that.
No, you should be. I am.
But I've not failed.
No, you've not failed. But when I fail, I have no safety net. By the way, maybe this is just a weird thing that I dreamt, but wasn't the suffrage movement created in part to create the prohibition so women would vote? Isn't that right? To get rid of alcohol?
Well, part of it was property rights, and also in Wyoming, you didn't have that many women. You didn't have that high of a population, so they wanted women to be able to vote to increase their vote totals.
Oh, I did not know that.
And property
Tyrus.
rights were a big deal too.
Tyrus, what are your thoughts on Hillary's next move?
Y'all should be really afraid. Like, I've been telling y'all not messing with her. Leave her alone. Stop messing with there's that scary old lady on your block, and there's always that one kid that always wants to go pick that peach from a tree, and we're like, don't do it, dog, don't do it. And then one day he goes in and she catches him.
Yes.
She's about to catch us, man. She's not going away. Like, she's going to use this vehicle because she's going to try to get in touch with the people. Spielberg is the vehicle. He's the name. He has a big fan base. Anything he touches, and it's about women. So in her mind, this is going to help her get her re-election bid going. This is a path for her to get re in touch with her base. She's going to start putting women forward, and this movie is about women's right to vote because we need to stick together to stop the evil Trump. I'm telling you, it's all going to come right back to Donald Trump in a Darth Vader suit at the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guarantee you, it'll be like this.
You should just call it like Jaws 7.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'm just envisioning Hillary's house now has like 7 or 8 Frisbees on the roof because none of the kids go over to get it back.
Exactly. Everyone who grew up in the neighborhood knows the lady I'm talking about. This is the lady times 10. Like this.
Like the Beast in the Sandlot?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
No, because that was the dog, and he was sweet when he got hurt. No, even if she got hurt, she'll just be one arm and still crawling after you like Terminator. You stay away from the new lady in the.
All right, coming up. Do trigger warnings do more harm than good? Harvard says yeah. Who's Harvard? I never heard of him.
Live from America's News headquarters, I'm Anita Vogel. Venezuela's embattled president surviving tonight what some are calling an assassination attempt. Drones loaded with explosives detonated during a speech by Nicolas Maduro. Maduro is safe and unharmed, but 7 soldiers were injured. The president is blaming the right-wing opposition for the attack. He's also pointing the finger at Colombia's president. Some are disputing the government's version of events, saying it was a gas tank explosion inside an apartment. President Trump is reportedly concerned that his eldest son may have violated the law. The Washington Post reports that the president has told confidants that Donald Trump Jr. may have unintentionally crossed a line. Special counsel Robert Mueller is investigating Trump Jr. for arranging a meeting in 2016 between a Russian lawyer and campaign officials. I'm Anita Vogel. Now let's take you back to the Greg Gutfeld Show. For all your headlines, log on to...
And now a story about trigger warnings, which calls for a trigger warning. Old people get the reference. A new study from Harvard, a school I'm told, finds that trigger warnings may do more harm than good. Researchers had 2 groups read scenes from books depicting graphic violence. One group got a trigger warning, one didn't. What they found, trigger warnings do in fact increase people's emotional vulnerability to trauma, meaning if you're someone who already believes words can hurt you, a trigger warning makes it worse. That's crazy. Think of it this way. Someone who might have been able to handle something shocking without a trigger warning would actually be less able to handle it because of the warning. So trigger warnings are actually causing pain, not preventing it. This is nuts. Which is why I've come up with a great new product, one that counters trigger warnings with blunt world advice from someone you know very well.
Sometimes I want directions, but I also want advice from my favorite national security strategist. Why can't I have both?
Well, now you can, thanks to Gorka Positioning System. It's the world's first geolocator to come with a dose of no-nonsense advice from Sebastian Gorka.
Time to destination 1 hour. There are no shortcuts in life, and if you believe otherwise, then you are a drooling, dim-witted twit brainwashed by the liberal academic media complex. I pity you and your sad, deprived children. Turn right at the next intersection.
Nice. And Gorka Positioning System is always there with a helpful reminder.
This traffic is terrible. There's a toll booth ahead, so I hope you have the money after the loathsome, relentless, infantile Democrats have screwed you on taxes. It's a shame. You make, and all they do is take and take. They would rather expand government than your wealth. Also, there's a passing lane ahead.
Thanks, Gorka Positioning System.
Plus, Gorka Positioning System will keep you out of dangerous areas on road trips.
Oh, where are we?
In 500 feet, turn right, because the only way in which to fight political correctness and ideological prejudice is to turn right. Then turn left to avoid global jihad.
Oh! Spring break, here we come!
No car? No problem. You can download the Gorka Positioning System right to your smartphone.
Construction ahead, so stay to the left, which shall be easy for you, you filthy communist garbage. And I can see you, so get a haircut. You look like a tramp.
So get Gorka Positioning System today. You'll never get lost or disappoint your parents again.
Gorka was supposed to be on the show tonight. He could have used a GPS.
Yes.
So, but he didn't make it. So he's not
Failure
here.
to plan. Failure to plan.
But you know, we got you, Dana, which is even better.
Consolation prize.
No,
I
it's-
know. But I can do the accent.
Do the accent, please.
I can do the Gorka accent.
Very good, very good. But in the real world, Dana, you aren't going to get a trigger warning.
No, I was thinking about this. Okay, so you know what happened to me earlier this week on
Right.
the 5?
Yes.
I didn't have a trigger warning about the alligator going into the convenience store. Had I known that the alligator was going to be terrorizing people in the convenience store, I might have prepared myself and not embarrassed
Yes.
the network by saying a bad word on live television.
Yeah, if you didn't follow, I don't know if you know about this, but on the 5, Dana said something awful on the show, which embarrassed all of her co-hosts.
True.
And we had to bleep
But
it.
it was because of an alligator. And if I'd known that the alligator was going to do that, I might not have caused the problem.
Yeah. Tyrus, do you think trigger warnings, I mean, they're like spoilers. You know, isn't it better to find out things and on your own?
I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. My definition of trigger warning is a lot different than your guys. Because, I do a lot of prepping for this show. When I said trigger warning, and my neighbor was, I'm going to my car. We assumed, I thought that was the same thing. So, you mean like a preemptive verbal cue that something verbally offensive is about to come?
Yes.
You really need that?
Yeah, apparently a lot of students feel that way.
Like Jaws music every time you make a decision.
Yes!
Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
All right.
And you can choose to leave. If you hear the Jaws music, it's like, oh, you know what? I can't.
So, like if I'm reading a book, Once Upon a Time, dun-dun. No, thank you. Okay, I got it. Cool.
Christy, I think the moral here is that if you dwell on certain matters, it actually makes it worse. It's like if you told a kid, like a doctor comes in and says, we're going to give you a flu shot. Just to let you know, it's a giant needle.
Yeah.
And it's going to pierce your skin.
Right.
It's like, why would you? No, a doctor comes
Bad
in.
idea.
My doctor, when he does certain types of exams, talks to me while he's doing it, so I'm not paying attention. Then all of a sudden I go, whoa! And I go, what just happened?
Yeah, that's so much better.
Yeah, it's so much better to be shocked by a finger.
Yeah, the sneak attack.
Yeah, sneak attack.
Wasn't that a great question that he just asked you? Wasn't that a great question?
I like it.
Are you saying that wasn't a question?
It wasn't a question at all.
Okay, maybe it was a statement wrapped in a question.
I liked it.
All right. Well, what are your thoughts in general?
I think it's ridiculous, the trigger, like to warn people.
What?
I don't know.
I learned something new today.
What?
And I love trigger warnings. Can I get a trigger warning like when you go on a date?
Oh.
Susceptible to stalking, we'll call you constantly, won't leave you alone, we'll scare off all your friends. Like that would be...
I would never have any dates.
More trigger warnings.
Kat, last word?
I just think it makes perfect sense, just like the shot thing or like anything else. If you say to someone, hey, this might emotionally traumatize you, then read it. How's that supposed to calm you down?
Yeah.
That would be like if I came to you before every show and said, don't screw it up, Greg, because if you screw it up, you're going to be real upset. I don't think that would make you have a better show.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. But yet you still do it.
Yeah, I still kind of just did it.
Yes, you did. It's funny, you know, a lot of people do that at Fox.
Yeah.
They really do. I know. It's like you walk by, don't screw it up. That really helps. We won't name names. All right. Okay, still to come. A new government program that punishes you for your social behavior. Is this awesome, scary, or bull?
I'm all about
Your life will be grave if you misbehave. China, the country, not the fine dinnerware, has rolled out a social credit system to spy on the behavior of its massive population. The reason? This from a government document. Keeping trust is glorious and breaking trust is disgraceful. Lou Dobbs once said the same thing to me in a sauna. I never forgot it. Now, a social credit score is like your financial credit score, except it's way worse. Things like bad driving, smoking in a non-smoking area, or posting fake news online can affect your social score. And people with low scores can be prevented from traveling. They can lose internet speed, miss out on school, jobs, and my world-famous ambrosia salad recipe. It's true. It's amazing. The system is optional, but the Chinese government plans to make scores mandatory and public by 2020. Yep. In the words of Dana Perino, holy that's pretty scary.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. I'm going to go to you first, Tyrus, let Dana calm down a bit. Is this... I kind of like this idea. Does that make
you like this idea?
I mean, am I a fascist?
This dude likes this. Like, could you imagine if they put your internet history and all this stuff is on this would pop up? You would really want all those unicorns and naked party stuff you look at? This is a horrible idea for men.
Those are body suits, Tyrus. They're not naked.
This is a horrible idea for men, and my brothers in China, man, damn, because everything you do.
Yes.
I mean, because we're all. I can only speak for men, straight men, that we're kind of decrepit, naughty little dudes, and we look at a lot of stuff we shouldn't because we're just curious about the world and we can't express ourselves because we're trapped in this box of not being weird. So I really would not want to be like walking my son to school.
Yes.
Or my daughter to school. I wouldn't be able to take my daughter to school ever because it would like literally people walk by and be like, oh my God, he does all that stuff. Like your rating would come out.
Yeah.
Like his credit score is 600, but his personality score is a 2 and his adult content's a negative 75. Like I wouldn't want any of that stuff.
If you have a credit rating and a pervert rating.
Yeah, like, and it's like, you don't, I'm just curious. It doesn't mean I'm really looking at that stuff. I would be, no.
Dana, you love this topic. We've been talking about it for months. Why do you love it? What do you?
I think it's the most evil way to try to control people. It's the system is meant to just depress any creativity
and swearing,
any freedom, swearing. Look, yeah, screw them. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
They have a system there where, let's say you jaywalk. You ever jaywalk in New York City?
Yes.
Okay, because it's easier to get across the street. You take your life into your own hands, whatever. They have pictures of everybody at all times. You jaywalk, they take your picture, they match it to your credit score, but that's not just a credit score. They'll say, Dana Perino jaywalked today. Also, she owes the credit card company X amount of dollars, and being in debt in China is a very embarrassing thing, right? And they basically try to control your entire life. They are making a huge mistake, and I think the country's changed under President Xi in a very terrible way.
Interesting.
So I do feel strongly about it.
She does. Christy, how do you feel about it?
I feel the same way that Dana does, and it's a big eye-opener to just really be appreciative of where we live and what we have and the freedoms that we have. I mean, it's scary, that story.
Not so fast. See, I'm like going, I want more of that, Kat. I want more of that.
I kind of love it.
Do you?
Yeah, one of the things you could get penalized for is buying too many video games. Have either of you ever dated a dude that plays a lot of video games?
No.
It's like you don't exist. Like, sorry, I'm not a dragon, or whatever is on those games. I think that there should be lots of other things, too, that people get punished for here, like, posting minute-by-minute updates about your pregnancy on social media.
Yeah.
Or like saying your mom after someone asks you a question.
Yeah.
Or like asking to use your chapstick. Like, no, you can't use your chapstick. I don't want your mouth stuff on my mouth stuff. Were you born in a barn? What is wrong with you?
Kill Me does that.
Yeah, you don't want to share a chapstick with a stranger. And if someone out there is sharing chapsticks, I'm fine with them not being allowed to be on planes and whatnot.
By the way, we are already doing this in America, but we're doing it to ourselves. We're policing our own behavior on Twitter. We're ritually humiliating people and banishing them for jokes and for tweets. And that's, I think, just as bad. That's why I'm like going like, we are actually Big Brother. I've said that many times, and I'll say it again. I'm with you though. I would social credit, hogging gym machines. I hate people who hog. And
wait, I'm sorry. You hate people that hog gym machines?
Yes.
Why?
Because I just want to use the gym machine. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with Dana on this one. That. You.
All right. Go ahead and clap. I'm not listening to your clapping. Still to come. Women are getting lower rates on car insurance, and one guy isn't happy. You won't believe what he's doing to fight back.
Love.
He changed his gender over a fender bender. According to Canada's CBC News, a Calgary man legally changed his gender on his birth certificate and license so he could save money on car insurance. This is great. David, if that's his real name, got a new car and its insurance was going to be $4,500. But if you were a woman, he'd pay $1,100 less. Sexism! His insurance company actually told him that. Turns out Canada's Insurance Bureau says that men under 25 are at higher risk of collision than women at the same age. But David said he's not physically changing his gender. He's just doing it on paper, which apparently was as easy as getting a doctor's note. So is David exposing a sexist practice of being charged based on your gender, or is he committing fraud? Either way, I think he's my hero. And besides, we know who the worst driver is. Right, Mr. Whiskers? He's got a perfect driving record. So, thank you very much. You clapping over that? Well, you're starved for humor. All right, Christy, what do you mean? This guy's an American hero, even though he's Canadian.
Yes, Canada. Where men are men and moose are nervous.
I love the Canadians.
Yes.
Let me make that clear. Go ahead.
Let's see. What's this all about? I mean, was it Jim Carrey who did it, or who was the guy? Was it Justin Bieber?
I don't know. Those are the only
That's
Canadians.
what I want to know.
No, I have no idea who. But I think he's very, very clever. And Dana, it kind of proves that men and women are biologically different when it deals. Like when it comes to money. Would feminists prefer that they pay the same amount as men?
Oh, I'm sure not.
Yeah. So
I mean, we want the social credit.
Yes,
for being who we are.
Right.
But the interesting thing is, isn't it Canada that's changing their whole birth certificate system going forward? That you don't have to declare a gender now on the birth certificate. So I don't know what Allstate and Geico are going to do.
No, it's.
I mean, how are you going to choose?
It's opening a can of worms. Has anybody ever said that before?
It's a good. I don't know.
I don't know. I think I coined a phrase, Tyrus.
Here's the thing. I guess for the people that are really psychologically challenged for their gender, like not knowing who you are or being trapped, and like I could see how this would be very disheartening for them.
Yeah, but this is only on paper.
But it's still the point, and this is what the problem is when we change all the rules so that everybody's happy, which ends up being you get exploited. No one's happy.
Right.
You know, there's 24 technical genders now?
Yeah, I think there might be more, 57, I think.
I mean, it's a lot.
Is that the catch-up?
Yeah, it's a lot. What I'm saying is, though, and then they'll get upset because this guy, he changed it to save money, but
yeah,
inside he felt like a cheap woman, so he didn't want to pay his bills. Can't argue that.
All right, Kat, should women do the reverse and try to get some of the perks men have? Like, if you identify as a man, there's no line at the men's bathroom.
Yeah, I just don't understand this personally because I should not be getting cheaper car insurance than anyone.
No.
Or car insurance at all. When I used to drive, I got in so many accidents. I hit other cars. I hit things that were not cars and were not moving.
Oh, really?
I blew out a tire because I drove up onto the sidewalk because I was jamming too hard to Bills, Bills, Bills by Destiny's Child. And that is something I feel like would only happen to a woman.
Oh, really?
That Gorka GPS sketch when I had to drive about 5 inches.
Yes.
That was the first time I've driven in about 6 years, and I had to ask the intern, the brake is the big one, right? So yeah, sure, I totally deserve cheaper car insurance. This is very fair.
Okay. Well, I think we've learned a lot here.
We learned everything.
Don't go anywhere. Final thoughts next.